What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Jay's Life Out Loud. Channel about nothing, but it's about something. Down here in the Man Cave Studios. Am I working on music? No. Have I been working on music? No. Do I need to work on music? Yes. But today's topic is very sensitive to my heart. Very, um, how can I say this? Very important to me. So I'm gonna dive right into it. I believe that since Trump was in office, we had a lot of people that felt like voting Trump in was, voting Trump out was very important, and I agree. But it took a lot of me to even go vote because I didn't believe in any of the candidates that was running. I heard Dick Gregory say one time in an interview that if you vote for a lesser of two evils, that makes you the devil. So basically, what he was saying was if you vote for the lesser of two evils, you just evil as the people that's running. But I felt like if I didn't vote, I would be contributing to basically agreeing to what the type of things that Trump was preaching and the type of things that he was doing to like a lot of the Mexican people separating their families, different things like that, and just keeping racial tensions at an all-time high. I don't think the racism was uh, caused by him because it's always been here, always will. But I just believe that he kept it at an all-time high and was trying to take it higher. Um, and that's really not the reason why it's really not the reason why I'm making this video. The reason I'm making this video is because I talked to somebody. We had actually had a debate, and the debate was about voting for the president. But this leads me to what I'm talking about is that this country has not changed with a new president. Racism did not disappear for those that thought it would. Racism has not went back in the closet to hide. We still, as of today, are having black men and women shot dead by police officers. Just had a 14-year-old girl that called the police because a fight was going on outside her house, and the police ended up shooting her. We have incidents of young black men and older black men still getting killed, harassed. We have unreported news that they don't talk about many black kids disappearing, people leaving work, school, and other places, black people, and just disappearing, not being seen again. And it goes back to when I say I don't feel comfortable in this country. And it's not just one thing, it's an all around the board thing. I don't feel comfortable being around police officers. It's not that I get nervous. I'm going to put it this way, I don't like being around police officers. I'm not saying all cops are bad. I'm not saying all cops are good. But I will say this. At 46, I've had more negative experiences with police officers than I have positive. And I think this was before I even turned 30. I remember riding them. I was probably about 19, 20, 21, riding in my truck, and I was riding in my van rather. Pulled over by the Oak Park police station. Two Oak Park police officers. So as they approached my vehicle after they pulled me over, both of them, one on one side, one on the other, both of them hands on their gun, both of them snap on their gun already loose. Now mind you stopping me, and the reason for the stop, he said that my plates didn't show up in the system. We know that's a lie. And if my plates didn't show up in the system, you would have detained me longer, or you'd have had the car towed or something like, hey, it's not showing up, blah, blah, blah. Not the case. So as they come up on the side of the car, turn the engine off, all that. Let me see your hands. Step out the car, this and that, or whatever. So as I got out the car, he put me on the side of the car, patted me down. Then they began looking the vehicle. So in between the driver and the passenger seat, there was a box. Around this time, I was doing, like when I wasn't at work, I would hook up sounds for people, this and that, or whatever. So it was like an old steak knife down there, not the huge ones, but the little ones. You just cut. But I was using it for cutting wire, splicing, or whatever, because I didn't have all the tools. Rigging stuff up, whatever. So the box had wires in it, screws in it, all types of little components, this and that, or whatever. So he goes in the box, finds this knife, comes out the truck. Do you know if I would have saw this, I could have shot, if I would have saw this shiny, I could have shot you? Now mind you, he reached and dug into the box to find this knife. Do you know I could have shot you? What would make you just jump to that? That you want to shoot me? Instead of, if all else, you could have said, sir, don't leave things like this in the box up front. Put it in the back. It could have been, anything could have happened that came of this, blah, 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 whatever. So then the other officer comes. Where'd you get the amp from? So I bought it from my cousin. It was an old amp. Is it stolen? I'm like, nah. Like, my cousin ain't got no reason to steal no old amp. He calls the amp in. They hold me maybe for another 5-10 minutes. Let me go. After all these little dumb speeches and this and that, took this little kitchen knife, little steak knife, takes it, opens my hatch, puts it back there. They go on their way. I would say this type of thing happens more often than not, that black men are getting pulled over for no reason. And as you grow up dealing with police just pulling up, where you going? You're like, bro, I'm walking. Where we don't know. We just chilling. Oh, okay. Where your ID at? So you telling me I'm just walking, and you stop me for no reason, just to harass me? Or you in the car? Where you going? Somebody over that live over? Man, I don't have to have nobody over here to be driving. So my experience growing up, I guarantee, is totally different than a white person or a white man's growing up interactions with the police. 9 times out of 10. In the workplace, I've seen so many jobs that have what I call a white ceiling. And what that means is that a black man is only going to make it so far in that company. He's not going to go past that white ceiling. And above that white ceiling, usually it's all white. If you look at the management, if in most companies, besides HR being black, supervisors being black, you may get a superintendent or something like that. Now we're talking about plants, but up high, majority of the time we will not be represented past that stage, and it is what it is. At my job, it's the same way. And I believe to be able to get a higher position, I don't care if it's a manager or whatever, a lot of times you have to fall in line to what character makes them feel safe. They don't want an outspoken person. Uh, Anything that makes them feel safe. If you go along with the program, if you just do what they say. But if you're outspoken or have your own thoughts, that's not going to fly. Now, I'm not going to say that's all the time, but from what I've seen, majority of the time, that's what's going to happen. So, with that said, it leads me back to I don't feel comfortable in this country. It's not like that I get threatened all the time or harassed all the time, but I see racism all around me. I watch it at restaurants, I watch it at work, I watch it out at the store just shopping. I notice the difference how even when you in line to pay for groceries, how they will deal with a black person versus dealing with a white person when a white person is in line. And I had a discussion the other day, and the discussion was basically me and my wife talking, and I was talking about all the things that make me want to move to Africa as far as dealing with this country. And we got to talking about, there are good white people, there are bad white people, there's good black people, there's bad black people. So it runs the gamut, and I agree. But when you live in a country where you are considered unvaluable, unwanted, and you can be killed on a daily basis. I don't care if it's 3-4 of y'all blacks getting killed in a week. It's nothing new at all. I heard a lady say in a movie, she was telling a young man about his neighborhood and how he was saying he's used to what goes on in the neighborhood. And she said, that's just like living in a house and one of your windows are broken out. And he's like, oh, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll fix it later. Then another one gets broken out. Oh, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll fix it later. Then you become numb to the windows being broken out. Something you get used to. And I think in the black neighborhoods, we have got used to second-rate services, neighbors that don't want to keep up their property like you do. people speeding through your neighborhood, burning rubber, doing all types of things, shootings, and burning up houses, whatever the case may be. But we do notice that these things will not be tolerated in the suburbs. It's a given. The police will be called. They're going to come out. So if they're doing that in the suburbs, but out here in the city, Detroit, it's a lot of, I'm making my own laws. I'm going to do what I want to do. If I want to fly up your street doing 150 and go straight to the stop sign, I'm going to do what I do. But if I go across 8 Mile, I'm not going to do that. So I understand that there has to be a respect level for blacks in their own neighborhood, that they have to respect their neighborhood and do the things to keep it nice and orderly. But at the same time, the system, a lot of times, is not set up for that. We won't get the same services. We won't get the same benefits. And I know that has to do a lot with who you vote for. You know, are you active in the neighborhood, things of that sort. But the argument was, okay, I know what white cops have done. I know what white people have done to us. But what are we doing to ourselves? And she had a good point. She says it upsets me more to see black on black than it does, even though she wants the other stuff to stop and change. But she wants us to learn how to come together. And I agree with that. But and there's no excuse, because we all know better. We all know right from wrong once you get past a certain age. But at the same time, if there is a disadvantage in your neighborhood where you grow up at, and you're not given the same tools, the same opportunities, the same after school programs, the same recreation centers, the same outlets, it's going to be a different outcome to how you act in your neighborhood, how you act around your people. And this is not something that you could just blame on rap, or you could blame on what's going on. This is a system that has been working and chiseling away at the black community for years and years, since we were brought here. And people say, well, you know, it's America. You can look at this person, look at that person. Why is it that black people have prime examples of this person made it, that person? But when you look at the white end, there's no prime example of who made it, because there's so many of them that make it. So if I don't get the service you get, from education to even garbage, recreation, after school, or things of that sort, I'm already at a disadvantage. Not only dealing with people judging me because of my color. So when a white person looks at the police as help, a black person looks at police as, this could go either way. Seriously, you know. I mean, you just had a 15-year-old girl call the police because there's a fight outside her house, and she ended up getting killed. And I'm not saying don't call the police. I'm not saying don't take care of your neighborhood, whatever the case may be. But if your skin is black, opportunities change. Situations can change. I've seen videos where I've seen a white guy go up, 3 white guys, beating on a police car, bust the window, everything. Cop never got out the window. Got out the car. I watched a video where I know the guy probably was high, whatever, outside a restaurant, bust all the windows out the restaurant, grabbing bricks, busting the windows, smashing his head into the door, cracked the window. Police walked up, put their arms around one officer, walked him to the car, talked to him, put him against the car, started searching. And in my mind, I knew if that was a black man, they would have ran up on the grass. If not hit him with the car, they would have got out, guns drawn, put your hands up, get on the fucking ground, all of this. We know, we've seen the videos. And what's funny is for somebody to watch the video and the first thing they say in their mind is, what did he do? What did he do? But you'll have a white guy go kill 20 people in a movie theater. 20, 30 people that was minding their business. And I mean, he can go in there and kill white, black, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Arabic, the whole gambit. And when you see him in handcuffs, he'll be walking. They'll feed him. They'll show that on camera. All that. And they'll say he has mental issues. But a black man walking down the street, minding his business, or driving and pulled over, will have a knee put in his back for 8 minutes until he dies. Then they will go to court and go through all this stuff to try to prove that he was high or something else was going on and that's why he died. But we all saw the video. 8 minutes. 8 minutes. So my soul calls for something new. And for me, that's Africa. For me, now don't get me wrong, I know there has to be a process to it. I have to go see for myself. I can't listen to, I can listen to every YouTuber in the world. I can watch every YouTube video. I can read as much as I want. I can look up the money exchange rate as much as I want. But until I put my feet on the ground, I cannot believe everything I hear or see. So I will do my own investigation first. And I will make sure that my money is right before I do leave. Once I decide that's what I want to do. And before I go further, I want to say this. And I said it before. There are good black people, bad black people. And I'm not even going to say that. There's people that make good decisions and people that make bad decisions in all races. So, me, I judge each individual as they are. So if I'm working with you, or if you're my neighbor, or whatever the case may be, I judge you as an individual, not as your race. So, and I think that's how everybody should be judged. I don't think you should cast a blanket over black people and say all black people are bad, all black people make bad decisions. I don't think you should cast the blanket over white people and say all white people are bad, all white people are racist, because I don't believe that. What I do believe is, in my life right now, is that I want peace. I want harmony. I want a peace of mind. And I'm not saying that I'm not getting it here, but in the back of my mind is always the thought of what if. And I won't even say the what ifs, because that's like burning bread on yourself. But being a black man or even a black woman, you know the what ifs. So this issue of America and what it stands for has been deeply on my heart. Deeply. We are living in some very evil times. And I mean, I know that a lot of this stuff has been going on for years. But we are living in some very evil times. Chemical warfare. Everything you do is tracked. Somebody's keeping a track of it, watching what you spend, watching where you go. Google definitely got you locked down, pinpoint wherever you go, whatever you're spending your money on. Somebody's always watching, somebody's always listening. And I can't say that I have all the answers on how to change things or which way we should go in these situations. No, I can't say that. But I can begin to learn myself. I can begin to dissect myself and find out who really who am I, and what makes me happy. Where does my heart feel at home? And some future trips will definitely tell that. So that's where I'm at with that. But a guy at work had asked me. He said, Kevin has to say, what do you think about the verdict, them finding the guy guilty? Do you think that's a step in the right direction? To me, you can chalk it up as a step in the right direction. But Malcolm X once said, if you stab me in the back and you never put the knife out, and then you pull it out an inch, and you want me to thank you, no, it's not good enough. Because as soon as you get the verdict, bodies dropping it before the verdict was even read. 15-year-old girl here, another 18-year-old here, another 20-year-old here. And you can tell that these officers have no remorse. How can you can't tell that you went through all this training, you can't tell the difference between a stun gun and a real gun, not even by weight, not even what it looks like, not even knowing that you carry these things on your belt and you know exactly where they are. A man knows where his wallet is at all times. A woman knows where she sits her purse down. You know which pocket you put your change in, which pocket where you hang your keys at on your belt or is in your pocket. And you telling me you don't know the difference between a taser and a gun? And if that's the case, you should have never been a police officer anyway. We are in a sad state of affairs. We're watching people die from COVID. People are going to get shots that they know nothing about or what's in it. Oh my cousin, he work at the hospital. He got it. Your cousin work at the hospital could be out here having unprotected sex and got AIDS. So what's the difference? You just do something because somebody else do it. I was watching a guy and he was like, you have to start asking who said. Who said the shot was safe? Who said the shot was unsafe? Who said what's in it? Who said what wasn't in it? Then I'm watching the news, and they talking about the Johnson & Johnson. They stopped them vaccine, put it on the hold. Then they came back and released it and said that there wasn't enough information that said that this drug was going to do more harm than it did, was going to do good. So it's cool to kill a couple of people. But keep using it. It's cool to have a couple of people walking around with blood clots that's could eventually kill them. But keep using it. But you don't know what's in it. You'll go to somebody's house and they serving something. And you look at it, I don't know what's in that, but you will go get a shot. And to each his own. That's why it's a free country. In some ways. In some ways. So that's totally up to you if you believe. But I tell you this, if you look at the precedent that has been set by those in power that give out these shots and vaccinations and all this, tell me about their track record. Just tell me about the track record. Tell me how many times they have experimented on black people and how we came out. Tell me about them blankets that they gave to the Indians. I believe it was smallpox in it? But to each his own. Could be right. Could be wrong. And I'm not judging, I'm just saying. So